Docker Swarm is dead. You have heard that, you have probably repeated it, and it is wrong. Swarm mode ships inside Docker Engine. And in 2025, Mirantis committed to supporting Swarm through 2030 in its commercial platform. So which one survives is the wrong question. Both are alive, both are in production, and you still have to choose. Here is the shape of the real answer. 5 jobs every orchestrator does. They answer 4 of them the same way. Every orchestrator does 5 jobs. Install itself, declare what should run, expose it, update it, and scale it. This board fills in on both sides as we go, so you can see the comparison being built rather than handed to you. Watch the last row. Scale is where the two genuinely part company, and everything before it is closer than you think. Job 1, install. On any machine with Docker, Swarm is one command away because Swarm mode is part of the engine. That is the entire installation. Nothing was downloaded because it was already sitting there unused. Kubernetes is one project, but nobody installs it raw. First, you pick how you get it: K3s, Kubeadm, or a managed control plane. Row 1 is not close. One orchestrator you already have, when you have to go and get. Job 2, declare. In Swarm, you create a service with 3 replicas, and that one line is the whole declaration. The service does not run anything itself. It schedules 3 tasks, and a task carries exactly 1 container on one node for its whole life. Kubernetes has the same shape. A deployment schedules 3 pods, but a pod can hold more than 1 container, sharing a single address. So the map is clean. Service is deployment, task is pod. The one asymmetry. A sidecar needs a pod, and Swarm has none. Here is the difference nobody leads with. Swarm is the engine you already run. There is no second system underneath it. Kubernetes is 5 cooperating components: an API server, a scheduler, controllers, etc., and an agent on every node. So you are not choosing power. You are choosing how much machinery you are willing to operate to get the same behavior. Job 3, expose. In Swarm, you publish a port once, and every node in the cluster starts answering on it. Hit any node, even when not running your container, and the routing mesh forwards you to a healthy task. Kubernetes does the same thing with a service. Hit any node, and it forwards you to a healthy pod, even when running none of them. What Kubernetes adds is the ingress controller: host names, paths, certificates. More power, and one more thing you have to run. Job 4, update. Both replace containers gradually and check the new ones are healthy. Swarm does one at a time, Kubernetes does a percentage. Swarm can revert on its own if you set the update failure action to rollback. Kubernetes stops a bad rollout, but it never undoes it. So rolling updates are a tie. Automatic revert is the one place Swarm is ahead, and almost nobody knows that. Job 5, scale. Swarm scales perfectly well. One command sets the replica count and the cluster converges, but nothing ever triggers that command. Swarm has no autoscaler, so the number changes when a person or a pipeline changes it. Kubernetes watches a metric, processor, memory, or one you define, and moves the replica count itself. Then adds nodes if needed. That is the dividing line, and it is the only one that really matters. Does anything you run have to react to load without a human? There is a second gap, and it is quieter. Swarm has a short list of object types: services and tasks, nodes, networks, secrets, configs. For most applications, that list is complete. It is also closed. You cannot teach Swarm a new kind of object. Kubernetes lets you add your own kinds of object and your own controllers to manage them. That is what an operator is. That is why the ecosystem is enormous, and why the complexity is too. A database that backs itself up is a Kubernetes-shaped idea. So the decision is 2 questions, and neither of them is which tool is better. 1. Must something scale without a human? 2. Must the platform learn a new kind of object? Answer no to both, and Swarm will genuinely serve you with a fraction of the operating cost. Answer yes to either, and you want Kubernetes. One honest addition. If you are hosting for other teams or hiring, Kubernetes wins on ecosystem alone. That is a real reason. There is the whole comparison. Install, declare, expose, and update are close enough that either tool will do. Swarm even wins one. Scale is the split. Everything else comes down to how much machinery you want to run, and that is a taste question. And if you did pick Kubernetes, you should know what those 5 components actually do. That is the next video.